You know, it goes without saying that we're very, very proud to be able to dedicate this space today to Anna and Whitney. And we were trying to do it for a while, but the pandemic interceded and prevented us from doing so, as you might imagine. And this is kind of emotional for me. Early on when I got here, Tom Eschen, who's here, introduced me to Anna and Whitney Harris, and two of the most amazing and finest people that I've had a chance to meet in my 15 years here in St. Louis, and had a real impact on me, but I'll save that for another time. Both lifelong models of public service and philanthropy at its very, very best. And not only have both Anna and Whitney championed causes that matter to them, they've championed values that have a profound impact, not just on St. Louis, but around the world, as we know. The Harris Conference Room commemorates nearly a century of service, from Whitney's time as prosecuting Nazi war criminals that you all know about, to Anna's ongoing commitment to civic and cultural organizations that bring true values to life. And I might add, a strong commitment to social justice. And the common arc or thread of this arc that moves through this life of legacy and service is to create meaningful change and differences that last for a lifetime in the hearts and minds of not only our students and people in the community, but across society. And that's truly amazing. And this conference room hopefully will create some of the seeds of further change and further efforts to make the world a better place. And so we're very, very proud to officially dedicate the Anna M. and Whitney R. Harris Conference Room. Gentlemen. Anna, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. This is just truly exciting to me. And I just have a few words. Just that all the people that Whitney met in his world travels and back and forth to Maryville in Germany, the people are just fabulous. And I'd like to thank Dr. Lombardi for this special day to rename this conference room. After Whitney and me, I will keep my comments brief and would like to recognize Whitney's incredible work at Nuremberg that made a powerful impact on the world and the rule of law. A few friends who could not be here and wanted to be here sent letters, and I'm just going to read a paragraph from each of their letters. They were important friends of Whitney's. Elizabeth Kahl sent us a letter. Hans-Peter Kahl, the first German judge of the International Criminal Court, she writes using her husband's memoirs. I saw Whitney Harris and Benjamin Ferencz all the time during the Rome conference at the NGO gallery. After the meeting, these two famous prosecutors of the Nuremberg trials against the criminals of Nazi Germany would come and make my acquaintance. They obviously sought the contact with the head of the German delegation, Hans-Peter Kahl. The next event my husband would recall, time and again, took place in Germany, in Berlin. My husband told us that he saw Whitney sitting with his wife on the diplomats gallery in the Reichstag, the seat of the German parliament, when Germany's ratification of the Rome Statute took place in presence of German Chancellor Schroeder. After this had happened, the German deputy foreign minister stood up and said, "Dear colleagues, as you are already aware, we have a guest of honor, Professor Whitney Harris, former Nuremberg prosecutor. May I propose that you all rise in honor of his work and in honor of the work of Robert Jackson, Chief Prosecutor in Nuremberg, and in honor of what these people have done in Nuremberg for the German people. The record of Parliament says, when everybody stood up, the whole Parliament, that they had a standing ovation for them, and very, very long applause. And it was exciting to be there and share that with him. Greg Peterson, who co-founded the Robert H. Jackson Center in Jamestown, New York, writes, as co-founder of the Robert Jackson Center and friend, I have been asked to share some brief thoughts on
That's okay.
Whitney and Anna Harris. We have been privileged to collaborate with the Whitney Harris World Law Institute and the Jackson Center. I missed an important one. To collaborate with the Whitney Harris World Law Institute and the Washington University School of Law. During our formative years, Whitney was involved in publications known as Tragedy of War and Murder by the Millions, established the first permanent fund to honor Robert H. Jackson, was involved with 2 trips with the Jackson Center to Nuremberg, various Nuremberg speeches, symposiums, and lastly, involved in the creation of the International Humanitarian Dialogues. And this is the 14th year in Chautauqua that they have celebrated the beginning of this International Humanitarian Law Dialogues. By the way, most of the prosecutors from across the world were invited to this, and we had a very large group there, and dialogues and talks, and it was quite exciting to be there. Okay. As I deviate, he was always there for us. He gave us instant credibility, and we cannot underscore enough gratitude to Whitney Harris, his wife Anna, and family. And both Elizabeth Hall's and Greg Peterson's speech is in full in brochures that you'll have at lunch to take home if you choose. Next, my hope is that the decisions made in the Harris Conference Room will continue to position Maryville University in the top rankings of overperforming national universities. I am so proud to share this dedication as part of Whitney and my legacy. Thank you, Duke Band. Special thanks to Faye Teddy and the Maryville team for being flexible throughout COVID and in the planning of today's events. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'd like to propose a toast to Whitney and Anna. If you, to Whitney and Anna Harris, and for all that they have done and all that they continue to do in body, mind, and spirit. And God bless you both.
You're here. You're here.